September is Cancer Awareness Month, and I always support this in many different ways. One of which is supporting the Light the Night Walk for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. It's a great charity, and I will match up to $500, 10% of all donations that are made. If you're looking for a free way to be able to support cancer awareness, use these colors for your shoelaces. It's an interesting way. Hey, before we get started, I just wanted to point out that I've organized all my videos into playlists on my channel. So if you're looking for more videos around a specific topic, especially topics like this with general shoe knowledge, you can find all of the videos in one place so that you're able to easily access everything that's out there. Thanks so much. Welcome. This is Wisconsin Shoe Guy, and today we're going to have a discussion about a very cool pair of shoes that I got from France in my quest to understand different shoes. As I looked at what was out there, and as I scoured Instagram for pictures of cool shoes, one brand kept coming up over and over and over again in Asia, and it's a different brand that I'd never heard of before. It's called Paraboot. Now, Paraboot is a French company. They're well known for their rubber soles and for Norwegian stitching. They do some Goodyear stitching as well. But the really famous, if you will, the shoe that I keep finding is the Paraboot Avignon. So I went out and I looked at it, and if you check out my unboxing video, I gave you a little bit of a story on how I found it. But so I'm not going to go through that now. But what I thought would be interesting is to really just kind of go through and talk about the shoe and what makes it exciting to me, what makes it good for me, and see whether or not that's something that may find interesting to you as you go through it. And then I'll go through the review on the shoe as well. So first things first, this is a split-toe derby. Now, what is a split-toe derby? This has an apron, okay, on the front. They call this a U-tip apron, all right? Then it has a split toe where there's a seam between the left and the right side of the shoe, okay? Now this split toe can be raised, it can be flat, it can have ornamentation around it, or it can be relatively hidden, or it can be very hidden. Okay? This is relatively hidden. You can definitely see the line, but it's not stretched out, and it's not nearly invisible either like it is on some shoes. Now these are suede, but it is a good quality suede. And the stitching on the top here is, there's a couple lines of stitching. I'll take some close-ups as well so that you're able to see. But it's a very well-made shoe. And what I like about it is that it has a Norwegian welt. Now, a Norwegian welt with a split reverse welt, or it almost looks like a pre-stitch welt that you'd get if you had a Goodyear welt that had the storm welt and had the pre-stitching on it. But this stitching is absolutely 100% uniform, okay, and is functional because that's actually what's holding the insole to the shoe, closing it. And also that welt is then stitched into the sole, even though the sole is rubber. So there is a layer of stitching there as well. So kind of a cool difference. It's a good differentiator in a casual shoe. There's some really nice piping on here. They did a nice job. The overall style, it is a single piece of leather that wraps from here all the way around to the back here on the side, and then this piece is another piece of leather. There is another piece of leather in the back here. That's part of it as well. They have their logo here, so you can always tell a pair of Paraboots because they have their logo there. But then the most telling side of a Paraboot, in my opinion, is the sole. They do a really nice job on the sole. It's got a really soft rubber. This is the shoe that my wife likes the most because it's quiet when I run around the house. So if you've got a lot of running around to do on hardwood floors, like or linoleum floors or something like that, like you're a teacher and you don't want the students to know when you're walking up, this can be a good alternative. The tongue is integrated as part of the apron, so it's completely attached. There's none of that annoying overlap here. It actually has the lining all the way to it. The lining on this is veg tanned and very high quality. So, I would say that from a comfort standpoint in a suede shoe, the suede is thick enough to be firm, but thin enough so that it's extremely comfortable in all seasons. So this is the Paraboot Avignon. From a stitch density standpoint, I will actually do some comparisons, but I usually do those in shoe battles. So now let's talk about price to value. This is Norwegian welting. Norwegian welting, if you look at different makers, can be very, very pricey. The Goiser welt, or this is mostly all done by hand. The Goiser welt that I have on some of my shoes are north of $1,000, and is very much a rarity versus a like a common thing you would find. But here they do it for a standard price. So these are a few hundred pounds, I think 325 to 350 pounds sterling. So it is a inexpensive way to have a Norwegian welt. It is an authentic Norwegian welt, I have checked. And it is but it is also a lot less ornate than some of the Norwegian welts, where they might have 2, 3, 4 rows. I have one pair of shoes that has 4 rows of the Norwegian welt stitch in there, so that it looks like a braid. This is just one, so 100% functional, and just a beautiful, classic, standard suede split-toe shoe. So, shoes from France have a fairly good reputation. You've got J.M. Weston, you've got Alton Bautier, you've got Berluti, a number of really, really high-end brands. Paraboot is counted among one of the standard brands. I don't think it's high-end by any means. Their probably most expensive shoe is this in Shell Cordovan, which is going to run for about 700 euros. So it's not considered an expensive brand, but it is considered a high-quality brand. And I do think that that's extremely important as you're looking at where you want to invest your money. So this is Wisconsin Shoe Guy, and I consider that, for what this is, it's very much worth the price. I know that I find the value in a lot of the shoes that I have, mostly because I don't buy the ones that I don't see the value in. But, I'm really very pleased with these. The quality's been good. I've had them about 6 months now, worn them several times, and there's next to no wear. They really just, and they're very comfortable. So that's it. Thanks for watching.